Hello, I'm Valdemar, and this is the Red Stripe preamp from Ghost Note Audio. The Red Stripe is part of our Transistor Legacy series of preamp pedals, which includes 7 high-gain preamps from popular solid-state amps from the 80s and 90s. It's based on one of my all-time favorite amps, the Peavey Bandit. The Bandit has seen multiple revisions throughout the years, but the 2 most notable incarnations of it are the Teal Stripe from the mid-1980s and the Red Stripe from the early 2000s. The debate as to which is the better one is an argument as classic as Pepsi versus Coke or Mac versus PC. Personally, I'm fully in the Red Stripe camp. At the time it was being manufactured, Peavey had really perfected their TransTube circuit designs, which until recently were patent protected. The same design principles were used in most of their solid-state amps at the time, including the Peavey XXL, the Supreme XL, and the Peavey Raids practice amp. Unlike the older Bandit models, which were based on op-amp and diode clipping mechanisms, the TransTube models are built around the Darlington transistor pair with carefully selected bias voltages to get the most pleasing clipping characteristics out of every gain stage. Even the Peavey Viper uses TransTube gain stages in combination with digital signal processing to achieve its sound. I've actually owned all of these amps at one point or another. The Raids was my very first amp, and the Peavey XXL is the amp I regret most of all having sold. Seriously, if you have an opportunity to pick one up, do it, they're amazing. I still hold on to my first generation Viper 30, which I've converted into an amp head. It's one of my most used amps. But back onto the Bandit. The original had 3 voicings on the lead channel, controlled with a single switch to jump between them. We've taken this switch and we've split out each of the 3 elements that it controls so that each has its own control, so you can achieve a few more sounds than the original ever could. Of course, you can also adjust the switches so that it replicates the behavior of the original. Like all the preamps in the Transistor Legacy series, this one internally runs at the same voltage as the original amplifier, something that's absolutely critical for the TransTube design to operate correctly. It does this while still being powered by a 9-volt power supply, and we use an internal booster circuit to achieve the necessary voltage. The unit is a simple single-channel design with just an N-gate bypass switch. We've got the standard set of controls, a gain knob, a volume knob, and a 3-band EQ. Then we have these tone switches, which control the voicings of the amp. Boost adds or bypasses a gain stage into the signal chain. Scoop changes the mid frequency and introduces a prominent dip in the mids. Finally, Shift changes the response in the upper mids and high frequency area, but this is a really subtle change. I contemplated leaving it out entirely, but decided to keep it in for the sake of having one-to-one compatibility with the original amp. This is easily one of the most versatile preamp designs ever made. It can do any kind of musical style you can think of, but where it really shines is for those high gain tones. But that's enough talking, let's listen to a few tone examples. I've got this running directly into my audio interface, going through a pair of vintage 30 IRs with a small amount of reverb added for some extra space. Let's check it out. That was the Red Stripe preamp from Ghost Note Audio. It's available in our online store. We're offering worldwide shipping on all of our products, so go check it out at ghostnoteaudio.uk. Thank you so much for watching.